up, guys? This is Andrew Dio at Redwood Trades. I just wanted to come to you guys in kind of a different type of video. We're just going to talk about the shop, and what it's like to open up a hobby shop. All those people that told you it is rough, it is rough. But it's good sometimes too. So it's like it has ebbs and flows. So sometimes, like for example, during the Lord of the Rings, that product was really good. So that was really good. We've been in shop for 1 year, and we're not simply just a hobby store. So we also do coffee, and we launched that like 2 months after we started. And then we've also started doing food as well. So those have been taking in quite a bit of a process. We started with a good amount of capital. We had about 10,000 when we started this business. So, but expenses, that doesn't take care of everything. So we got a cheap place. The rent is actually very cheap. But then it was just a shell, right? Then we had to make it actually look like a hobby shop, coffee shop, and we had to buy all the equipment. We had to buy all of the supply. We had to buy all those things, and that gets pricey after a while, so we quickly had to get credit. We quickly had to kind of get any type of money we could, and any money we had extra, we put into the business. So that's a challenge that I don't think people tell you when you start a business. And even as a business major, like it's kind of, you think, oh, starting a business is super simple, right? And it can be for some people, but it also can be very challenging and stressful, right? Especially when you dive into it, because what you're actually doing, and this is the difference in types of people, right? Some people can handle the risk and some cannot. It is very stressful. It's very stressful to not know what's going to happen, whether you're going to succeed, fail, but it's kind of on you, right? So one of the main issues that I've seen from our short time in business, right, is liquidity, right? Liquidity is everything. And because you need, especially with new Magic sets or new Pokemon sets, or now we're doing Lorcana, all these things come out like every 3 months. So one hard issue that we seem to have is when we make a good amount of money, it's going back into the business in order to get more product. So it's like we're incrementally working ourselves up, and it's kind of crazy, right? So it's like I don't think we're ever going to get to the point where we're getting rich off of the hobby store, right? It's not something that we're going to be multi-billionaires off of. I think everyone knows that, right? But you can make money in it. You can be somewhat successful. We have some different goals that we want to hit, and we may pivot as well as a business. Like we'll still keep part of the hobby, but that could be almost like a side portion of our business. We really like the coffee aspect, but we're also in a very small town. So we don't have that much traffic as far as coffee customers that come in. So we've done pretty well though. Just some rough numbers. We almost hit maybe, I don't want to get too much into it because it's private, but it's not private. You can kind of look this up. We made a good amount of money in our first year. As far as net profit though, we didn't. We actually lost money in this first year. And it's a good amount, right? I mean, it's not like it's, if you're looking for quick gains, this is probably not the place for you. But if you're looking for a place and something you can build and grow, like that's one thing I love about the business is it's like a challenge every single day. Sometimes we are short capital, right? And so I have to actually figure out how to hustle products. So I'll be on eBay and I'll be listing things and I'll be trying to get the most amount of money. And sometimes you take losses on certain products, right? And like, for example, there's other YouTubers, or not, I guess YouTubers or hobby shop owners, like Rudy from Alpha Investments. That guy's spending millions. And he's kind of crazy. But that's okay. You kind of need to be crazy in order to jump in this because the margins are thin. They're not high margins, right? But it can be rewarding as well because you get to interact with people, you get to make friends. But overall, you get to run a business yourself, right? So if you weren't already established in life, I don't know if this is the right place for you to be, right? For me, like, and I'm not anywhere established, but I did own a home, okay? And then we moved across country, and I was able to use some of the proceeds from selling our home, and we opted out to purchase another home, right? So that's first and foremost, because I'm married as well, and so it's not just me. I'm thinking about my wife as well. So if you're going to jump into this and do this, there are a lot of things that are difficult. For example, here's one example. So starting off, I was trying to become a WPN store. I am now a WPN store for Wizards. So I can actually get Magic product. I can do pre-releases. We can do tournaments. We can do all those things. But that was a long road to be. And we started this in 2020. So we've been a brick and mortar for technically a year, okay? We started this in 2020, and I was just selling cards online. And probably 2019, back it up a little bit. That's when I started, actually. But me and a buddy wanted to do this, and we were going to do this. Life kind of went a different way for him, so it ended up just kind of being me. And we're still good friends. He's still super chill. I want him to come out here, but he has a kid, and it's kind of harder for there. And I understand that. That's totally understandable. But like, back to the story, I was trying to become a WPN, but one of the requirements to become a WPN is you had to actually have product. And so I was stuck in this conundrum where I wanted to get product, but I couldn't get product because I didn't have product. So there was a very much like a tough way to go about it. But we finally did it. We finally overcame. And just that alone, we had to invest capital into getting old sets that we knew probably weren't going to sell very well because they were already old. We couldn't get any of the new stuff until we had the old stuff. So it took like almost like a $5,000 to $7,000 investment in just old product that's going to sit on the shelf, right? So you kind of have to take more of a long-term approach to some of these things because maybe in 3 years, those specific ones that we bought initially will start to move. You know what I mean? You never know, okay? Or you can what I kind of do is I try to keep things lean as far as the hobby. And when we're out, we're kind of out. Sometimes I can get more. It's hard because we're still starting out to compete with kind of like these big stores where they're always having product. But that's a part of the hobby, right? So that was a challenge. But then we had to get coffee. So we started doing coffee. We had to buy all the equipment for the coffee. And we did that in October of 2022. So that was a challenge because we had no equipment. We had to find the type of coffee we're going to use. We had to get all the cups and different things of that nature. We started branding our cups. So it takes incremental steps. And this is one thing if you're trying to start a business, and I'm no expert right here. I'm in a year in a brick and mortar store, okay? But it takes slowing down and going step by step because you can do it. It's with anything, right? You can do a lot of things you accomplish, but it's going to take hard work and you taking it slow. That sometimes you're going to win, but sometimes you may not, right? But you got to keep going. You got to keep moving and keep moving and keep moving. And then one day, you can be like me and open a hobby store and lose money, right? One day. No, but it has been super rewarding, and it wouldn't happen without the support of family for me and even my wife. Like, without those people supporting me and pushing me, this wouldn't have happened. But I'm thankful to everyone. I just wanted to kind of give a 1 year update from our brick and mortar store. But we have some plans that we want to do. We have some kind of directions we may change to, because business is a changing landscape, and you gotta kind of do what you gotta do. But yeah, that's it. This has been a great time. We may start a podcast. We may have some different people from the shop start a podcast. We may get into some other things. We may do some different hobby things. But yeah, this is it's been rewarding, and I'm thankful. God has really truly helped us in this time, and I couldn't imagine what people without faith do in these moments. Anyway, this has been Redwood Trades, and I am Andrew Dio.